Frederick J. Dukes, also known as the Blob, first appeared in X-Men issue number 3 in 1964 and has been a returning antagonist ever since. Off the bat, looking at this guy, it's what I like to call corn-fed. He's a big dude. He's superhuman strength and superhuman skin, because with great skin comes great resistance. His skin is so blubbery, it can stop bullets, missiles, and even sometimes Wolverine's claws. He can also alter his personal monodirectional gravity field beneath himself to make himself virtually immovable, as long as he has contact with the ground. But when we first meet him, we see the Blob as a member of a traveling circus. He is contacted by Charles Xavier through Cyclops, who sees his performance, and it tells him that he thinks he's a mutant, and asks him to join the X-Men. At the X-Mansion, the other X-Men dislike Blob for his obnoxious attitude, and the Blob refuses Xavier's invitation, saying he's better than the other X-Men, and when Xavier tries to erase his mind of this whole thing that transpired, the Blob would escape the X-Mansion despite the efforts of the Beast and uses the sewers to get away without being followed. And Magneto would soon seek out the Blob to recruit him for his Brotherhood of Mutants. The Blob temporarily accepts the invitation but would leave shortly after, when it's revealed that Magneto has no real concern for the Blob's safety, and he would then rejoin the circus for a short time before joining other groups like Factor 3, the Secret Empire, one of Hydra's many arms, and he would later wind up in prison. But he would be freed by Mystique in order to recruit him to an incarnation of the Brotherhood, where he would become a part of the plot to assassinate Senator Kelly, in which the event would lead up to the apocalyptic alternate future of the Days of Future Past storyline. And he would remain with the Brotherhood, becoming a special operative of the federal government when the Brotherhood is reformed as a government-sponsored team called the Freedom Force, and on the team's first mission, they would help capture Magneto. They then would battle the X-Men in San Francisco, and Blob also helps out in the Freedom Force's capture of the Avengers for the federal government. After the Freedom Force is dissolved though, the Blob joins in other versions of the Brotherhood, including one led by Toad and another led by Professor X. But then the Blob would take over as leader for that when Xavier would leave. Now fast forwarding to the events after M-Day, due to the Scarlet Witch's depowering of 90% of the Earth's mutants, the Blob is one of the thousands to lose their powers. But his skin doesn't shrink to compensate for his loss of mass when he gets depowered, leaving him with huge folds of loose skin. With the Blob being depressed, he would attempt to commit suicide, but his skin folds would prevent him from cutting through any major blood vessels on his throat or wrists. Now, through unknown means, the Blob would lose all his excess skin, and his fortunes would turn in his favor now. Now known as Freddy Dukes, he would become a weight loss guru popular in Japan, and is also the star in an upcoming movie filmed in San Francisco. But in the most recent run of Uncanny X-Men, on issue number 16, Fred Dukes is working with Mystique in Genosha and is once again shown as heavily obese and would have his powers restored thanks to mutant growth hormones, or MGH, that would be extracted from Dazzler. Alright guys, what do you think? Personally, I think Blob is pretty cool. He's always been a real background character to a lot of mutant teams, I feel like. I'm excited to see him in Marvel Strike Force, who's about to be released. Hopefully by the end of this video, or whenever the video will be released, we'll actually be on time for the event. If not, maybe a day or two later. But other than that guys, if you like this stuff, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next video. Bye-bye!